Trauma and healing. So let's get Richardson Dickens. I am the proprietor of CRA Counseling Consulting Agency and two websites, The Color of Trauma and Healing at googlesites.com and The Color of Trauma and Healing. So let's get to it. Boo, how do you know when you've been divorced? For some people, they'll say, I know because I've signed papers. I know because we went to court. But there's this thing, right? I'm an Imago couples counselor. And I've had clients who'll say, we don't talk anymore. Every time we talk, we fight. So we don't talk. And we don't eat together. And we definitely don't have sex. Or if we have sex, we have two separate rooms. It's like, wow. And how does your money go? And the client will say, well, we pay bills, but we split half and half, right? And the kids, some days I take the kids to school. This person takes kids to school on this day. But no, we don't do that. Okay. And where do you watch TV at? Well, I've got TV in my own room and they got a TV in their room. And what do you do socially together? Oh, socially we go out. Oh. So when you go out, do people know that you're divorced? And I'll go, no, because we're holding hands or we're just walking in together, and when we enter, I go my way and they go their way, and people just assume we're together. Almost like Jada and Will Smith, right? If you read Jada's book, she said, when he invited me to the award show, when he was nominated, I thought it was just somebody, just like a friend, like we're like family, because I have children with him. I'm not thinking I'm being invited as his wife. There's this thing called a secret divorce and a silent divorce. A secret is nobody knows, not even you, boo, right? A silent divorce is that we haven't announced it, but we're living that way, right? There's secrets. We're not disclosing information about any money that's coming in. We're not disclosing information about about our dreams, our hopes, our wants. We're not talking about what's happening with our individual family members. So I keep my information about my family to myself. You keep it to yourself. We don't try to intermingle that way. We're separate. And the separation is highlighted, especially if you're sleeping separate, right? Sleeping in a different room or sleeping on the couch, or you're sleeping in the same bed, but you're sleeping like this, not touching on purpose. Or one person delays going to sleep because they don't want to have the pressure of thinking that you want to be sexually intimate, right? So there's this thing, right, called denial. And denial is as long as denial. And many of us don't want to see that someone has divorced us. And sometimes the person that we're with doesn't realize that we've divorced them. That we're not in love anymore. We're just attached. And we're attached by children, or we're attached by a mortgage deed, or we're attached by family, or we're attached by expectations. Like, people expect us to be happy. People expect us to be solid, right? Or we have responsibilities. Maybe there's an older parent who has Alzheimer's or dementia or cancer, and we work as a team in that area. But we don't work as a team in the love area. We're working like this and living parallel, right? And it's a secret. And every secret has shame, and every shame has judgment. And every judgment gives you the permission to beat up on the other person. So what does that sound like? Let me give you an example. A client has said, you know what? My wife is an idiot, and I get so mad because she overspends, and I can't trust her. So I don't even give her the mortgage money. I give my half right to the mortgage company because she's an idiot, right? A punishment is when someone degrades you. That's the punishment. When someone has contempt for you, when someone undermines you, undercuts you, doesn't give you compliments, but points out everything that's wrong, like you got a pimple here, or your hair is red, it should be black. That's the punishment. Or when you call family members and say, you won't believe what this person did today. Dead. But the narrative is the same, right? That the person is worthless, useless, helpless, and the person is lucky to be with you. That's the punishment behavior. Because what it does, it puts them in jail. And there is marriage jail. In marriage jail, it feels like you can't get out. It's like a 24/7. You're in it 24/7, right? You're just trying to stay alive. And the way that we stay alive is through cutoffs. What are cutoffs? Cutoffs or exits. More like exits than cutoffs. But a cutoff is I cut myself off of you emotionally. So if you're crying, there's no hugging. A cutoff is I may not share things with you. I don't deal with you. I come in and I walk up the steps and you never see me again. I really cut you off. There's something social happening and I'm getting dressed and you're sitting on the couch with rollers in your hair and wondering, where's she going? I've cut you off. You don't have access to my information and you don't have access to my pain or my dreams. That's a cutoff. But an exit, that's really a good one. An exit is when I work 12 hours per day and then I volunteer after that. Or I'm all into my kid stuff. I'm exiting from the relationship. Right? Or I'm volunteering. And it looks like I'm being such a great volunteer. But no. I'm choosing to exit and focus on something else other than focusing on the problem. Because when people silently or secretly divorce, right? They exit. And they don't have the courage, right? Or the willingness to really think about themselves and how they're living. When someone comes out of denial and they wake up, because in Imago we say there are couples who go to sleep, they see the pain, and then they go to sleep, right? And then they wake up because something wakes them up again, and then they get upset again, and then they go back to sleep because nothing changes. And what we'll say is that when you are in the fight of the relationship has a chance of living. You're not secretly divorced because you're fighting for something. And you're fighting with someone because you want to resolve something. But the moment that you silently divorce, this fighting is stopped. There's the acceptance that comes in that it's not worth it. Or the acceptance that comes in that you're not valued. Or that you don't value them. And an acceptance comes in that it might be fear that keeps you there. It might be financial access that keeps you there. Or it might be children and grandchildren that keep you there. But either way, love is not keeping you there. Or if it is love, it's the hope that the love you had in 1990, 2000, 2002, during COVID, that love is going to come back, right? But boo, not even Luther Vandross, right? Not even Usher can bring back that love, right? It can come, and you can work on it in therapy. Like when I have clients come back, I'll say, tell me the love story first. I want to hear how you met. Because if there's a love story, then there's a foundation of love. There's a memory of love. There's a memory of being connected. And it teaches me about how you got connected, right? And what love looked like. And even though you're silently divorced and you're living separate from the person, we can work back and try to go back to the place where you were connected. Because connection means I'm being understood. I'm being accepted. I'm out of jail. I'm free. And I'm free to be me. Not just free to cheat, but I'm free to be me. Right? And I think that's the thing that everyone wants. They want to be able to be accepted as themselves in couples relationship. They want to be heard. And maybe not agreed with, but just heard and respected. And they want to be encouraged. And they want to matter. So when people are silently divorced or secretly divorced, like what happened with Jada and Will, and we heard about her entanglement. My thinking is, well, where's his entanglement, right? Because now she's in jail. Everyone's saying bad woman. But what she says in her book is, we weren't working. And when I had the red table, I was going to be the only one at the table. And then he showed up. And I was surprised. And then he said to me, right before we were at the tape, I don't want you to tell him that we were divorced or living separate. And I don't want you to tell them that I was dating other people. So in that interview, she looks like the horrible, horrible betrayal woman, right? Scorned woman with the big S on her chest. Oh, by the way, does everyone like my t-shirt? I'm just saying it's cute. But look like the scorned woman. But you didn't get to hear how he was living for those 6 years. And you didn't get to hear who initiated it and who agreed with it. And you didn't get to hear what was missing from that relationship. All you heard was, I had a relationship with someone who happened to know my son and who was younger with me. And you didn't get to hear that they were unhappily married and they were living secretly divorced. And for a lot of people, they live secretly divorced. And I'm sure that you know relatives who are together but are not together, who don't sit together, don't pray together, don't eat together, and they damn well want to having sex together. So this is what I say to clients all the time, right? What would it take to heal the relationship? Because we only disconnect when we don't feel safe, when we don't feel heard, we don't feel seen, we don't feel valued. What would it take? And let's work on that. And what is it about this person that's triggering you, that's causing you to retreat? Because we only run when there's danger. Like I say to people, when you're afraid, like really afraid, right? Like afraid, like in one of those movies where Jason's coming to chase you. When we're afraid, we either fight, and if we like, I'm tired of fighting, we give up. We play dead, or we fight, we run. But if I can get you to not be so afraid and to lean in and trust that this person is not going to hurt you, that they're going to hear you, and they're going to hear how they impact you and how they make you feel. And then they're going to hear who they remind you of, because past is present in marriage, right? Which is, even with raising kids, past is present. Whatever happened with you in your childhood is played out with your kids. So either they have a better childhood than you, they got the super childhoods, or they have the same one. Past is present. That you marry someone who you think consciously is different, but boo-boo, they're the same in some areas. And they're saying in that they're going to hurt you and frustrate you. And frustration is your needs are not going to get met, right? They're going to frustrate you by not giving your needs, giving you what you needed as a child to be complete. And when we don't get what we need, what do? You know what we do. What we do when we go to the airport. What we do when we don't get our way. Roll our eyes. Cut people off. Oh, my phone's ringing. I'm not going to answer it. Right? We act out. Right? I remember being at the airport and I was running late and I was giving the flight attendant the people at the counter, the stink I like. Right? And it wasn't their fault. I was running late. But what happens is that when we get hurt or angry, we have a way of acting out and projecting onto other people. And what I'm acting out is not about what's happening now. It's what's happening to me in the past. That maybe me acting out with the flight attendant person or the front desk person is about maybe I was always getting what I wanted and I don't know how to wait. Or I'm always pushed to the side. And now this is bringing up that feeling of being pushed to the side. Right? So we look how we can resolve what's happening in the past so you can be present in the marriage. And we bring to the surface the awareness that you are divorced. You're just living together. And if you want to stay that way, that's fine. But you got to stay that way consciously and make rules consciously about how this is going to happen and how you're going to meet each other's needs, like your sexual needs. Are you going to have sex? And if you do have sex, what's the rule about does the person stay in the bed or you want them to roll out immediately? Butt naked, right? Or is it okay for them to date but not bring the person home? And how do we act with the family, right? Because when we're secretly separate, right, it's not discussed. It's like a secret that no one knows. But when you have a feeling that you're secretly divorced or silently divorced, it's silent, not announced. You live like the living dead. You're not thinking, you're just going through the motions. And no one deserves to go through the motions. You're too special for that. So I want you to think about your own relationship. Is it alive and well, flourishing? Are you getting what you deserve? Do you feel loved and supported and cared for? Or am I living like the living dead, where I'm just going through the motions every day, doing the same thing every day, not feeling fed emotionally, not feeling like I'm flourishing? Because healthy relationships bring out the best in you. They let you grow, right? They allow you to be the best version of yourselves, right? And they're always in your corner, even when you're wrong, right? They push you towards not excellence, but they push you towards greatness. And they accept you as you are. And they never put you in jail, right? Because once I put you in jail, then I'm judging you. And then I give people on the other end of that phone permission to judge you. And now everybody's judging you, but no one's knowing you. So if you find yourself in that situation, right, really think about, does it honor you? Is that what you want? Right? And what are you afraid of will happen if the secret gets out? If everyone knows, what would happen next? And then when you come to that answer, and then ask, then what will happen next? And then when you get to that answer, then go, then what would happen next? And keep going until you can't go anymore. Right? It's been a pleasure and honor to speak with you on Friday. I just showed off my shirt. I'm showing it up again for people who didn't see it. I'm Candice Richardson Dickens, the owner of a private practice called CandiceRDickens.com. If you're in the DMV area and you're interested in receiving couples counseling, I'm an Imago Couples Counseling certified. And I've been counseling for over 30 years. I know, even though I look like I'm 30, but I've been counseling over 30. I'm just saying. And if you're looking for someone who practices holistic wellness, I do offer meditation, breath work, yoga, Nidra yoga, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. I do Reiki and somatic experiencing, all that good stuff, right? And one of the things that I want couples to know, or people who are in coupleship, every relationship is supposed to help you grow. It's supposed to teach you something about yourself. And if you can't do it by yourself and you can't do it with each other, consider finding a clinician or this clinician that can help you get to the place you want. Because I'll say to clients all the time, you come to couple counseling doesn't mean your marriage is going to get saved. You come to counseling. Counseling allows us to tell the truth about what's really happening. And it might be more of a negotiation of how we part than how we stay together. Okay? Have a wonderful Friday. Love you on purpose. And I guess I'll catch you around. Bye. And Dope Black Therapist is back on YouTube. So catch me on YouTube if you can. Peace out, people. Like and subscribe this video so it gets around. This is your girl.